This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening and thank you for being with us. Let's begin with a bit of good news on the horizon. Thousands of people forced out of northern Manitoba 4 weeks ago are now on the cusp of being welcomed back home. Flintflon is officially reopening on Wednesday morning. The CBC's Josh Crabb joins us from the PA, where some evacuees have been staying. So Josh, what is the mood like as people prepare to pack up and head home?
A bit of excitement and a bit of anxiety. For the past month, Flintflon evacuees have been calling hotels home in places like the PA and communities farther south. The city was spared from wildfire, but the destruction in surrounding areas is not lost on those who have homes to go back to.
He's one of the other evacuees. That's Sammy, the Maine Coon.
For the past month, Guy Rideout, his partner Lorene, their cat, and 2 dogs have been living at a hotel in the PA. The Flintflon evacuees have been here ever since the city was evacuated May 28th, forced out by a fast-moving wildfire. Homes and businesses and other buildings in their community were saved.
We have got away quite scot-free. The outlying areas of a lot of cabin resort homes. Some of them weren't so lucky.
The fire in the area is still burning out of control, but officials have decided it's safe enough for people to go back. On Wednesday, the couple and their pets and thousands of others can start returning to the community.
Very happy. I can't wait to get back into our routines.
Pauline Nabis got to the PA on a bus with her 2 sons and mother. She arrived with almost nothing and hasn't been able to work because of the evacuation.
It's been tough. It's been hard.
She's feeling a mix of emotions about going back home.
It's going to be much different to go back home now. I don't know about smoke damage. Obviously, I don't know about the food in the freezers. Some people say that their food is still good, so that's another big thing. And going back, like, no money, not being able to go shopping, and the uncertainty of that, so it's pretty scary.
The city of Flintflon says more than 580 people left the community on buses. Officials say they want to figure out who will need a ride back home. With people scattered across the province, they want to make sure no one's left behind. For those driving, the city is warning the highway will be busy, and they're asking people to take their time.
We're stocked up. We've already got groceries. We're ready to go. 9 o'clock when that opens, we're going to be one of the first ones in line. We want to get home.
Kelly Sherman has a vehicle and is preparing to hit the road.
Good boy.
He's been living out of a hotel with his dog, wife, and 2 kids.
And I thought I'm just going to get something with flames on it to represent kind of the beast that drove us out of there.
The whole family got tattoos that will serve as a reminder of the fire that forced them to leave and burned hundreds of thousands of hectares, wiping out cottages and homes in neighboring areas.
The biggest thing will be the devastation of the area driving back. I don't think people are prepared for what they're going to see or not see.
Some people have already returned to Flintflon to get businesses and services back up and running. Everyone else will be allowed in as of 9 Wednesday morning. Some tell us they plan to line up at a highway checkpoint so they can get back as soon as possible. Riley.
Thank you, Josh. That is the CBC's Josh Crabb in the PA. Well, hundreds of personnel are continuing to battle fires and put out hot spots across the province. The CBC's Gavin Axelrod caught up with 2 sisters from Pinemutang First Nation who have helped in the fight against those fires and hope their work inspires other girls to do anything they put their minds to.
Putting out hot spots and hauling hoses, these are firefighting sisters 21-year-old Heather and 22-year-old Delilah Anderson.
You're climbing up rocks, working in the heat. You have a whole jumpsuit on, so you can't take that off because it's like protected from the bugs and fire.
The Andersons were recently deployed in eastern Manitoba for about a week and saw the destruction from an out-of-control wildfire in the Nopperming Provincial Park area.
When you step foot in there, everything's just burnt. I have thoughts like, are these trees going to be alive still, or are they dead? Because some trees, you could tell they are really burnt and they're gone.
Even though some Manitobans living in the southern part of the park have returned, the fire is still over 200,000 hectares.
Anything that's burning, we put it out. Anything that's like the moss would be burning. So we would have to pour like a bunch of water on that, dig it out, and like flip over logs to make sure it's not burning still.
That work hasn't gone unnoticed by community members either. A post from the Southern Chiefs organization on Facebook has over 1,000 likes, dozens of comments, and even more shares.
When they see stuff like that, it makes them proud of us that us younger ones are doing something.
The sisters are also young mothers. They want to inspire other girls, especially in their home community of Penamutang First Nation.
I want them to see what they're capable of. I don't want them like, oh, this job is for guys, females can't do it. So when they see me, I want them to think that they could do it as well.
The Andersons plan to head back out with their crew in early July, taking with them the support of an entire community. Gavin Axelrod, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The chief of Pimicikamak Cree Nation wants the province to cancel its moose license lottery in the north due to wildfires. Chief David Monia says blazes have scorched much of the natural habitat where his community's hunters go. He says moose have either gone somewhere else or they could have perished in the fire. Monius wants the NDP to scrap 350 tags it's offered across 4 of Manitoba's 62 game areas this year. Natural Resources Minister Ian Bushy doesn't plan to do that, adding recent data shows more moose populations in the region are bouncing back. It has been almost a year since Ashley Murdock's body was discovered in a Winnipeg apartment building. Today, friends and family gathered to remember her. The CBC's Zabina Ahmed has the story.
With friends and family supporting her, Deidre Telenko Murdock is remembering her daughter, Ashley Murdock.
Her laughter, she was so loud. She's just, she was just full of life, and, she struggled, but you know what? She fought.
Police say Ashley was reported missing July 3rd of last year. Her body was discovered in this apartment building on Kennedy Street 2 days later. It's one of the places her mom stopped today. Ashley, originally from Fisher River and Jacket First Nation, was 28 when she died. Her mother says this walk is to honor her memory.
To heal and grieve and move on, and it's hard to do that, and I'm finally doing that today. I'm finally making that step.
Police say Ashley's body had been moved from another location to the apartment on Kennedy, where it was found. 7 people were arrested in connection to her death. 2 people have been charged with first-degree murder. Deidre says the court hearings are difficult.
We have to now live this again a couple more times. Go into actually court, go and relive in this, and it's just, it's too much.
She says Ashley's death inspires her to fight for justice and more resources for Indigenous families who have suffered tragedies like hers. Zabina Ahmed, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The NDP government is sending a voice to Washington, one that might be familiar to CBC's audiences. Richard Madden, who started his journalism career here in Winnipeg, is leading the province's new trade office in Washington. He most recently worked for the CBC in the U.S. Capitol. Madden says his mission is to sell industry and political leaders on what Manitoba has to offer.
Covered Washington for over almost a decade. So I know the players. I know, I've got a fairly decent Rolodex, and my role is to just be a facilitator, help get those meetings that could potentially lead to something more lucrative down the road.
He plans to start by getting word out about Manitoba, since many American lawmakers may not know much about our province. All right, time for a first check on our forecast after another decent day. A few thunderstorms, some showers rolling through late afternoon as well, but meteorologist Colette Kennedy, a bit of a chilly start to the day today.
Thanks, Riley. Well, you know, we seem to sort of be outdoing ourselves. First of all, with the overnight low last night, down to 5 degrees for Winnipeg, seasonal lows around 12. So definitely cool, and into the high single digits, though, by the time we got to 8 a.m. this morning. And then into the afternoon hours, we've had this cold front pushing through, but it's been a little bit slower to move. And with the southwesterly wind ahead, outdoing ourselves on some of the highs here. Winkler 26, Steinbach not reporting, but was up to 25 last I saw, on 27 there for Winnipeg. So yeah, certainly that's helping with some of the storms bubbling up. I'll have more on that coming up. But then once we get to the overnight hours, 10 degrees tonight, 13 as we move towards about 8 a.m. with some increasing cloudiness, and then into the afternoon, 23, mostly cloudy, a slim chance of showers into Winnipeg, but along the international border, a heightened chance for some wet weather. Again, details to come.
All right, thanks so much, Colette. A Gimli flight school has been barred from training pilots after Transport Canada found it broke several aviation rules. The agency revoked LS Airways Flight Academy's certification in November. And as the CBC's Arturo Chang reports, a former instructor who tipped off officials has filed a lawsuit against the school, saying it put students' lives in significant danger.
Here it has the logo of the flight school of Gwinnett, a small school.
Wayne Liu looks back on his time as a flight instructor. A lifelong dream came true when he earned his pilot license. He was a trainer in the U.S. before deciding he wanted to settle in Canada with his family. But that plan hit turbulence.
The whole school stuff, it's like a kind of break everything.
Liu enrolled in LS Airways Flight Academy 2 years ago. He wanted to turn his American instructor license into a Canadian one. The school operated out of the Gimli Airport, but last year, Transport Canada revoked its certificate. It said in an email it was in the interest of public safety. Liu briefly taught at the Gimli school, but says he should never have been allowed to because he didn't have enough flight hours. Liu says he raised concerns with the owner before his flight test, asking for more instruction.
Even though I have some experience, we still need to practice and meet requirements for the exam. Then until 2-3 days before the flight test, she still never flew with me.
Several lawsuits have been filed against the owner, alleging she took advantage of students' positions to exploit them, including their immigration status. Liu's filed a lawsuit of his own. He says in it the school's owner told him to put fake hours on his training record, that the school failed to follow aviation rules, and put students in significant danger.
I was telling myself, hey, I shouldn't do this.
The owner denied the allegations in the lawsuits, saying in a statement of defense that she kept all required documentation and followed proper maintenance procedures. Liu and other students decided to report the school to government officials in 2023. The school ended up being fined for 3 violations. One of them was failing to meet personnel record requirements. Another one was related to transporting people or goods without proper certification. 2 more violations were made public later on, related to the company letting an aircraft that had not been properly maintained take off. Meanwhile, Liu says he was told by officials his instructor rating is no longer valid. So if he wants to teach in Canada, he must start all over again.
Because of this school, I feel so depressed.
CBC News tried to talk to the owner, but she declined to comment. None of the lawsuit's claims have been tested in court. Arturo Chang, CBC News, Gimli.
Boeing is expanding its operations in Winnipeg. A $20 million expansion includes a new freezer for storing composite manufacturing materials. The change nearly doubles the site's existing freezer capacity and is aimed at boosting production here in the city. The airline manufacturer produces hundreds of parts and assemblies for commercial airlines as well as for defense derivatives in Winnipeg. The Grey Cup game in Winnipeg is still months away, but the call for volunteers is out already. The Grey Cup Festival needs more than 1,000 volunteers the week of November 10th, as well as some before and after for setup and cleanup. People are needed for things like transportation, helping at events, and during game day, of course. You can apply at the Grey Cup Festival's website or through the Blue Bombers website if you want to work at the game. Strawberry season is arriving a little earlier than usual for some Manitoba growers. U-Pick farms are getting ready to open their fields to eager pickers in search of their first taste of summer. And as the CBC's Chelsea Kemp reports, while hot weather last month helped, producers now are hoping for rain.
Taste testing strawberries with her kids, Jane Giesbrecht is getting ready for the U-Pick season at Lost Creek Acres. She's hoping to open a little earlier this year, but still needs a good rain to help the berries ripen and size up.
We're definitely seeing smaller fruit this year. Just the way things have been a little bit drier, I think, has contributed a lot to that. But yeah, still lots of, a ton of flowers, a ton of fruit out there.
In Winnipeg, local berries are already hitting the shelves at St. Leon Gardens. One of their suppliers, Friedensfeld Honey and Berry Farm, says his berries are almost ready. He's on track for a typical season.
And the fruit set and stuff that I see out here, the potential that's there right now, customers will be asking for more baskets when they go out in the field because the picking should be good.
The Prairie Fruit Growers Association says it's hard to say whether the season is starting early. They expect most farms to open on typical dates, even if a few growers started ahead of schedule.
Everybody's always cautiously optimistic because we know that a lot can happen between now and when picking starts, or even between now and when the season ends.
Back at Lost Creek Acres, Giesbrecht says the next few days will be critical.
We've still got lots of berries, but they're all greens.
So she's hoping for rain to help these strawberries grow. Chelsea Kemp, CBC News, RM North Norfolk.
All right, and that leads us to another check on our weather. So as much as some dry weather would be nice for those U-Pick farms so we can get out and pick some of those berries, meteorologist Colette Kennedy is back, and Colette, some rain would also be nice here in the province.
Yeah, thanks, Riley. In a case like that, I mean, it's more helpful to have a consistent, more widespread kind of soaking rain. But we're talking about a different scenario, as is common into the summertime, right? We have a strong jet here, the winds in the upper atmosphere enhancing this cold front that's moving through. So the types of precipitation we tend to be seeing bubbling up are some of these thunderstorms, and some of them a little bit on the stronger side here as that cold front is moving through southeastern parts of Manitoba. But as we move into the later evening hours, we'll see these dying off and then getting into partly cloudy and quieter conditions through the overnight. But if it's rain that you're seeking, tomorrow more of that along the international border, because that cold front almost kind of stalls out here, at least hugs very close to the line, and along the tail end, again, more showers. I have put a slim chance into Winnipeg, but primarily we'll find it south of there that we would get into any wet weather. The next best chance for seeing that into the city would be as we move towards Friday night into Saturday to get some more wet weather coming back. Another system develops as that one moves off, some stronger storms in Saskatchewan as we move towards Thursday night. But by the time this energy is reaching us again, it's kind of moving into the province earlier on Friday. Central regions getting some wet weather there, but we'll see that moving on and tracking southeast more towards Friday night into early Saturday. Winds telling such a story where they're still from the south or southwest. We have those warmer temperatures. Otherwise, behind that, the cooler air has moved in, and we'll see as one system leaves, another one comes in. We just keep getting that rotation of the winds, and with that, our temperatures going up and down a little bit. Now, tomorrow we're closer. It's a little bit cool, but closer to seasonal, and then we'll start to climb once again, and you can see that illustrated here as we look at our 5-day forecast. So there's that slight chance of showers. We'll get some extra cloud cover into Winnipeg. Know that further south, a heightened risk of getting some wet weather there. 23 for the high, and then for Thursday, 25. Now, humidity still low through here. Friday, evening showers overnight into early Saturday. So at this point, maybe not ruining the weekend in terms of outdoor plans. 27 Friday for your high, 28 on Saturday. Sunday looking like a beauty, 27 degrees. So some of the kids I know the last week of school here and looking good into their first weekend of their summer.
I'm sure. Thank you so much, Colette. Well, she is one of the most decorated athletes in Manitoba's sporting history. Now, Jennifer Botterill will also be able to call herself a Hockey Hall of Famer. That story from the CBC's Gavin Axelrod.
The Hockey Hall of Fame is pleased to welcome Jennifer Bottrill as an honored member. Congratulations, Jennifer.
It's another accolade on the distinguished resume of Winnipeg's Jennifer Bottrill. The star forward was named as one of the members of the Hockey Hall of Fame's class of 2025 on Tuesday.
I do feel like it's the ultimate honor of recognition, and so it's, I think, one of the, it's the highest recognition that you can receive in the sport.
Bottrill had been eligible for induction since 2014, but her father Cal says the wait wasn't something they were worried about.
I think we felt all along after we saw what she was accomplishing that one day she might be a candidate. But it's still exciting to see her being honored.
Some of those accomplishments include starring on the ice at Harvard University, where she racked up hundreds of points. She was twice named college hockey's top women's player. Bottrill also won 3 Olympic gold medals with Team Canada and is a 5-time world champion, where she was twice named MVP. These days, she works as a television broadcaster, among other ventures.
I couldn't let myself be consumed by it in terms of if it was the day would come for me or it wouldn't.
The family got the long-awaited news Tuesday afternoon out at West Hawk Lake.
We were just enjoying the afternoon and then came in and had missed a few calls already. And so then a call came in when we got to the dock. And so it was Lanny McDonald and Ron Francis, and they shared the news with me on a phone call.
The Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony is set for November in Toronto. Winnipeg-born defenseman Duncan Keith is also part of the 2025 class. Gavin Axelrod, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Sunday Night Cruise is where Winnipeg car enthusiasts typically go to show off their classic cars. But finding someone who can repair those classic vehicles is proving to be a little bit more difficult. Cars have evolved over the decades, and as the CBC's Mike Arsenault explains, knowing how to fix older vehicles is becoming a specialized skill.
Sam Sanders is making some final adjustments on this Chevrolet Camaro. He's been a mechanic at Canadian Super Shop on Portage Avenue for nearly 40 years, and he got his start at a very young age.
So I used to work for my father at a Shell service station on Portage in Maryland. Back before it was a food store, it was a 5-bay automotive center, and I apprenticed there.
With decades of experience under his belt, his skill set is becoming more specialized as the years go by. He's one of the few working mechanics in Manitoba who know how to repair classic cars. Cars of that era were almost entirely mechanical and operated on carburetors as opposed to fuel injectors.
They don't really train carburetors anymore. I mean, it's sort of a thing that's moving along. A lot of cars like this they're hobbies now. They're not the main group of cars that people drive.
It needed some work. It needed the carburetor set up.
Marv Kraut owns Canadian Super Shop. He says vehicles from the 60s and 70s had very little tech compared to vehicles made today.
There's probably more computers in a vehicle today than what most consumers actually can understand.
Kraut says the reason so few mechanics can repair classic cars is simple.
Because they've all retired already. Because Sam is pretty much at the end of his career. And that's why I have a group of young techs that Sam can teach them.
Jim Voth is the chair of automotive trades at Red River College. He says they don't teach new mechanics how to repair carburetors or fix old cars.
Almost everything in the auto industry has switched to fuel injection, and that's what they're working on when they get to industry.
Voth says RRC's focus is preparing mechanics for what they'll be dealing with once they graduate.
If somebody wants to learn that, they can still learn that, but they're going to have to find themselves a mentor. Somebody probably with silver hair that's done it a few times and can walk them through it.
It'll be up to guys like Sanders to pass along all that he's learned, but he doesn't plan on going anywhere, even after he retires.
I'll work a couple days instead of like a full week and stuff, and because I want to keep doing it as long as I can.
Giving young up-and-coming mechanics a chance to learn a dying art from one of the city's experts. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Saskatchewan companies are betting big on helium as demand grows dramatically. But Canada relies on the United States to turn the gas into a liquid. But will the ongoing trade war with the U.S. change that? The CBC's Alexander Silberman takes a look.
In the heart of the prairies, thousands of meters under the soil, companies are betting big on helium.
It's all new to this area and it's all exciting. We're just scratching the surface on our exploration and production at this point.
North American Helium is the largest in a field of about a dozen Canadian businesses, trying to turn a profit on a wide-ranging demand for the gas. It's needed for MRI machines at hospitals, manufacturing of semiconductors, and to launch satellites into space.
So that's the first step in our process, is the membranes.
The natural gas flows from wells into largely automated processing plants.
Helium travels from deep underground through these pipes and tanks to get purified. But the final step of the process, turning the gas into a liquid, happens in the United States. That's something producers are hoping to change.
We've got great resource potential.
Amid a trade war, the industry argues there's a growing case to decouple its supply chain. But it says the first step is tax credits available to other critical minerals.
For the Canadian domestic use in hospitals here, we have to ship it across the border, become liquefied, and bring it back to Canada. A Canadian liquefaction plant would eliminate that problem.
The global market now has an abundance of helium. But despite shrinking margins, a Canadian liquefying plant would be worth it, according to this expert.
I think it sends a signal that, that Canada is in the helium business for the long haul, that they, they're more than a feed gas supplier to U.S. sources.
With Qatar, the U.S., and Russia top helium producers, Canada's advantage could come down to geopolitics as a stable supply for trading partners that could also lift up the prairie economy. Alexander Silberman, CBC News, near Swift Current, Saskatchewan.
The province is helping Manitobans upgrade their furnaces to energy-efficient heat pumps. The program will help cover the cost of ground source heat pumps for eligible homes in Manitoba. In 2023, the NDP promised during the election campaign to fully cover the equipment and installation for 5,000 homes over 4 years. However, the program only covers up to 75% of the cost this time, with the rest being paid back gradually by homeowners on their monthly bills.
So, for example, this home here will be paying $75 a month for the next 15 years. And that monthly payment was designed specifically in mind to be less than the cost of less than the energy savings that this homeowner will be seeing. So, therefore, the savings are immediate.
Efficiency Manitoba says there will be no upfront cost and paying for the unit will be put on your energy bill, except for homeowners living in First Nations communities who will pay nothing. A new method of cremation is now available in Manitoba. It uses water instead of flame and is known as an eco-friendly alternative to other forms of post-death care. It's a service that one Manitoba woman had been waiting for.
Yeah. She loved water.
Very similar.
Before Elizabeth Crossley Sr. passed away, her daughter says she knew a water cremation is what she wanted.
I guess her soul just kind of liked the idea of that better.
The 65-year-old was just the second person in Manitoba to have what's known as an Aquamation service after she died. This facility in Headingley is the first and so far only place to offer aquamation in Manitoba. The eco-friendly alternative uses a hot water solution to speed up the natural decomposition process. What's left are bones, the remaining fluid, then sent through the sewage system to be treated and released.
We would use about 90% less energy than you would with a traditional cremation.
Dwayne Till is the CEO of Tillwell, the company offering the service.
Cremation will run at about 1800 degrees Fahrenheit for several hours to perform its process, and we're operating at about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. We run about an 18-hour cycle, and the water that we use is all heated hydroelectrically in Manitoba with hot water tanks, very similar to the ones that you'd have in your home.
It's the environmentally friendly aspect that Crossley says was appealing to her mother. It was something she first heard about several years ago, but wasn't available in Manitoba until just weeks before she died.
He actually told us she was the second person in Manitoba to get it done, which really shocked us.
Had her mother died sooner, Crossley says her family would have traveled to Saskatchewan, where aquamation has been legal since 2012. The bones left behind from the process are dried to create a powder similar to traditional ashes. Crossley says her family plans to spread her mother's remains in her brother's backyard.
She always said she wanted to be a tree. So basically her remains will be planted into the soil and give life to a tree.
Her mother's soul, she says, returning back to the earth, just as she wanted.
Well, it's been another day of heat warnings across much of central and eastern Canada and huge swaths of the United States as well. Tens of millions of Americans are sweltering from the Midwest right to the East Coast. Take a look at these images here of buckling roads and sidewalks in Illinois. The intense heat is causing the pavement and asphalt to expand and blow out, forcing road closures. With the humidity, the temperature has felt warmer than 40 in some states. The National Weather Service says extremely dangerous heat will persist until late this week. Athletes from 17 countries took part in the Red Bull X Alps event. The competition is known as the world's toughest adventure race. The nearly 1,300-kilometer course forms a giant figure eight across Austria, Italy, Switzerland, France, and Germany. It includes technical climbing sections and high-risk flying zones. The event began in 2003 and takes place every 2 years with both men and women competing. Italy's Aaron Durgatti won this year's race, breaking a 16-year Swiss winning streak. U.S. President Donald Trump says the ceasefire he brokered between Israel and Iran appears to be holding. But he expressed deep frustration today over the country's fighting again following his Monday evening announcement. And as Chris Brown reports, it is a truce that feels very fragile.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Israeli reaction to Donald Trump's F-bomb over Israel allegedly breaking the ceasefire that he helped broker has been to essentially overlook it. In a statement, the Prime Minister's office confirmed much of what we knew, that after Trump announced the deal in the middle of the night here, Israel embarked on a number of bombing missions in Iran, and that Iran responded before the ceasefire kicked in with its own reprisals. It fired ballistic missiles, at least one of which hit Beersheba and killed 4 people, including an off-duty soldier. Then Israel says Iran fired a couple of other single missiles over the next few hours, to which the defense minister here ordered another big strike on Iran, and that is apparently what set Trump off. In the end, Israel said it settled for a smaller reprisal, hitting a radar station in Iran instead. Benjamin Netanyahu is characterizing this 12-day war as a tremendous success for Israel, as it eliminated what he called dual existential threats in the nuclear domain and in the field of ballistic missiles. The country's president, Isaac Herzog, sounded a similar theme as he toured that damage in Beersheba.
What we have done successfully in this operation is to remove the Iranian nuclear threat looming above Israel, the region, and the free world.
Iran's Security Council spun the outcome a different way, saying it was Israel that was forced to accept defeat and a ceasefire unilaterally. Iran has obviously been badly hurt by this war. Israel assassinated a lot of its key people, scientists, and military leaders. Plus, it appears to have destroyed a large part of Iran's nuclear program. Whether this ceasefire will stick is now the key question. Previously, say in Lebanon between Hezbollah and Israel, there were extensive negotiations, terms and deadlines. Here, we don't know who has promised what. There's no document to look at, and we don't know what the expectations are about the future of Iran's nuclear program, or really anything about the whereabouts of the sizable supply of enriched uranium. Chris Brown, CBC News in Jerusalem.
Leaders from the NATO states are now in The Hague for a summit. Most seem ready to commit to spending 5% of their national GDP on defense and related infrastructure. That is something U.S. President Donald Trump seems pleased with.
You know, when I went to NATO, they were broke. When I first started this whole thing, they weren't paying their dues. 7 of the 28 countries, at the time it was 28, were paying their dues, but they weren't paying very much. NATO was broke. Then I said, you're going to have to pay, and we did a whole thing, and now they're paying a lot. Then I said, you're going to have to lift it to 4% or 5%. and 5% is better. I guess they're voting on that today, but they're going to be lifting it to 5%. That's good. It gives them much more power.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is also at the summit. He says the new NATO benchmark could cost Canada as much as $150 billion per year. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says Canada is committed to boosting spending on defence, but has questions about the timeline. She noted some allies have proposed meeting that target in 2029. Time to bring back in meteorologist Colette Kennedy, and we're talking about the hot and humid weather in Ontario. That's sparking some thunderstorms. And Colette, some of that heat has spread east here into Manitoba as well.
Thanks, Riley. Yeah, some of the showers and thunderstorms that are happening along this cold front moving into southeastern Ontario have to do really with the timing here, getting a push of southwesterly winds and that temperature jumping up. This is from 3 p.m. where the temperature was right around 24 degrees, but then that push right up to 27, and then with that cold front, so a leading edge of a new air mass coming in, providing some lift, and that's why it's sparking some of the showers and thunderstorm activity. But if we kind of look at the trend as we move forward and get towards the end of the week, tomorrow is just a tiny bit below seasonal, then back on track for Thursday, kind of where we should be for this time of year. But watch the trend as we move towards the end of the week. Those temperatures will be building into Friday. It starts to cool down a little bit through central and northern parts of the province into the weekend, but anything but going in the opposite direction and warming towards Brandon and for Winnipeg as we're heading into the weekend. So some of that activity that's been sparked by that cold front there. And the thing with this frontal boundary is it's almost going to hang there along the international border. And because of that, some wet weather into tomorrow for the south, southern parts of the province, but not necessarily into Winnipeg. I've given us about a 30% chance there. Temperatures tonight, not as cool as last night, perhaps even holding with the double digits. Not necessarily the case into northern Manitoba, as you might expect. And then as we start to warm things up through the early morning hours, still temperatures are going to be running a little bit below seasonal in some cases, but not doing too badly. Lynn Lake, low 20s, Thompson into the low 20s. So that's looking good through that area. And then just checking out what's going to be happening through the day. Again, watch those showers developing there. Somewhat widespread, but just really harder to predict where you'll locally get some heavier amounts that will be popping down through the day on Wednesday. And that slight chance for us into Winnipeg. And so only slight, that means green pause all the way. And have a look at Jacks and Pick. Or is it Pick and Jacks? I don't know, but I know, Simone, I love the Huskies because they can talk to us, and it's always fun to hear them at least trying to speak human.
All right, thanks so much, Colette. By the way, I meant to say west, that warmth moving west into Manitoba. Sometimes when you're in this windowless room, you lose a sense of direction. All right, the force is strong with the River City Sabres. They're a Winnipeg group that trains in combat using LED lightsabers. CBC's Shanalee Vidal was at a recent class at the Chalmers Community Centre.
This is River City Sabres.
It's a way to channel your inner Jedi or Sith and work up a sweat. River City Sabres is a Winnipeg-based group that teaches people how to fence with replica lightsabers that glow in colors like blue, green, purple, and of course, red.
Blades are made of polycarbonate. They're practically indestructible. You can take these things full force against a tree and they won't break. Get some light going then.
That's co-founder Scott Isaac. He helped develop the combat techniques, which are a fusion of different martial arts styles, such as German longsword and kendo.
When we do actual sparring, we're wearing lacrosse gear, fencing helmets. We're completely geared up for safety. Alex, let's go.
My name is Alex Murdock. I've been with River City Sabres for 9-ish years now. Some of us have bad hips, bad knees. We cater to it. We try and figure out what works and what doesn't. And then it's just, you sort of develop your own style as you go as you learn the others. You're like, hey, I like that from this style. And then it just turns into your own fighting style.
It all started back in 2012. Isaac and his friends had been sparring with wooden swords when they came across some lightsabers.
These things have a little bit of flex to them, so they're not as painful when you get hit in the hands. We started sparring out in like parks. We had kids, so we were doing it later in the night around 9 o'clock or so. People started recording us. They saw and put it up on YouTube. Comic-Con at the time saw it, and they reached out to us and asked us to be their Star Wars presence. So we're like, yeah, we'll put on a show, we'll come, we'll have some fun with it there. And the weirdest thing ever is that people actually wanted to learn from us. And we're like, sure, yeah, we can do this.
Robin Turner also wanted to become one with the group after seeing some saber action in person a couple of years ago.
It's honestly just one of the best ways to get a decent workout. The moves themselves are all really manageable. The teachers will take us aside and help us through things, anything we're finding difficult.
Okay, everyone get a buddy and get a whoosh zone. Someone can be paired with Dave or Scott. My name is Zyla Webster, and I'm one of the staff instructors here at River City Sabres. Okay, great. Now one more time all together. I've actually been with the group for over 12 years. I was kind of coerced into being here because when I was finishing high school, I needed gym hours, and I was coming up short, and my dad was already doing this and begging me to come out so that we could have some quality father-daughter time, and I was like, no, Dad, that's so uncool. But he got me out, and I never stopped coming ever since then. Woo! Under, yeah, there you go.
While River City Sabres may be inspired by Star Wars, being a fan of the franchise is not required.
Believe it or not, we actually have multiple members of our club who've never even seen a single movie, ever. But the reason why people stay as long as they do is because of the community we've built. It's a really special thing to see people come in from all different generations, walks of life, background, ages, you name it. We would all very, very easily pull up arms for each other. We're a really tight group of friends.
River City Sabres makes an appearance at Comic-Con each year, and this summer the group will be showcasing their skill at the Winnipeg Fringe Fest with an outdoor interactive show. Shanley Vidal, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Welcome back. We get a chance to take a look at what's happening, not just in the next 5 days, but we'll extend it into 7 as well. For some of the young ones, I know the last week of school, looking forward to their summer, and the temperatures kind of climbing as we head towards the end of the week and into the weekend. That slight chance for showers into tomorrow for Winnipeg, but as we move towards Friday night into Saturday, we have a better chance of getting into some showers there. And then just checking out what goes on into next week. Yeah, you see these readings, they're holding normal this time of year, 25, so holding a little bit above as we get back into some heat that extends into next week, Riley.
All right, thanks so much, Colette. Well, when you think of the cast of Star Wars, which characters spring to mind? Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Darth Vader. How about the robotic droids? Well, those characters have sparked a unique hobby in a Sudbury man. His creations are tonight's Daily Lift.
So on the left we have BB-8, and everyone probably recognizes him from the Star Wars sequel trilogy that came out in the last 10 years. And on the right we have B2 from the new Andor TV show. So I built my first one in 2019. This is the one on the left here on the table. This is a mouse droid, which appeared in the very first Star Wars movie in 1977. In 2021, I was looking for something to do, and I decided that I wanted to try to make a BB-8 droid. It took me about 1.5 years to build BB-8. That's on and off, and when I was finished, I got to bring it out to these conventions and have a lot of fun with it.
What have people said when they see it rolling around?
I think people are pretty amazed, I think. It doesn't look like it should be able to do that, and everything is hidden inside. I try to hide a little bit if I'm ever out in public with it, so that nobody can see that anyone's controlling it. And you can interact with people, and you know, if they move to the left, you can make him look at whoever's looking at him, and they're very, you know, how's this happening? How does this work? So I think people really like seeing it, and it's cool because these are from a movie, and you don't ever expect to be able to see these kinds of things. Like everybody gets excited when they see R2-D2 and BB-8 at these conventions because they're real in front of you.
That is cool. And in case you didn't know, I do have 3 robotic friends of my own in the studio here with me, but they're nothing like that. If only they could move around and, maybe fill up my water bottle. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great night.